Hey, 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 beautiful heart. What's vibing today? Dr. Janae here to do today's energy reading. It's the beginning of the month. As you guys know, when we move into a new month, it's new energy. There is a bit of a transition phase. Sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's a bit bumpy. And guys, it could be different for each one of us, and that is absolutely okay. Your journey is unique. It's not meant to be a carbon copy of somebody else's journey. It's not meant to fit in or shape because of somebody else's journey, thoughts, feelings, what have you. This path is unique to you. So, as I continue to shuffle and let the cards come out, just got to do some house cleaning and some friendly reminders. I will never, ever, ever in the history of never reach out to you, tell you I have a message for you, tell you I have a reading for you, or solicit you, or ask you to contact me, or any of that. That's not me. Those are scammers. Keep yourself safe. Yes, they're using my pictures. Even I've seen some of my videos repurposed. Guys, if the only way to work with me and these readings, that's just a small smidgen of what I do. For those of you who don't know, yes, I am an entrepreneur, but I have multiple businesses. So this is not just it. This is one teeny tiny little portion. But anyways, if you want to work with me, you have to make the first step. The only way to work with me is to click the link down below in the description box or in my bio, and for you to schedule yourself. Keep yourself safe. All right, last reminder. This is a general reading. This is not a personal reading. It's not a one-on-one. I am not channeling one person's energy. The energy I read is for the collective. I understand my readings can feel very personal. That's awesome if that is what it is, but no, this is general. This is not personal. If you are interested in a personal with me, well then, you already know what to do. I just told you. So, all right, enough yapping. Let's get into this. Interestingly enough, we have 4 overall energy cards that came out. The first one is 15, Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. Talked about this a little bit yesterday, the stagnant energy. Sometimes most of the time, the stagnant energy it's not creepy. That's not the word I want to use. It's sneaky. It could be like a ninja. It creeps up without you really knowing it. It's not like it just pops up like a jack in the box and says, hello, I'm here. I'm stagnation. Let's have some tea. It doesn't do that. You may be having momentum, and then just all of a sudden, the energy switches up. Your attention gets dragged to something else. Before you realize it, the strides you were making to move forward are now stagnant. I love how this card represents it with a dust devil. Because yeah, you can't see through that, but this stagnation, only you can move through it. Only you can decide not to be stagnant anymore. Again, doesn't mean you're going to wave your little wand and bippity boppity boo. You're going to be out of it. Inch by inch, it's a cinch. Yard by yard, it gets hard. Number 2, we've got, number 34, Lay of the Land, Ancestral Wisdom. For those of you who saw yesterday's reading, this card started it out. So here it is today. Yesterday, what came out was a lot of trigger warnings, but this was the first one. Now we've got moving out of stagnation and Dust Devil starting this. This is saying some of you heard that reading, took it to heart, and are making changes. Good for you. Number 48, sky dancers, surrender. This says a lot. On this journey, we get into these cycles, not just once, we'll repeat them for a while until we learn what we need to learn and we start making new routines and new habits. But this time, especially the next couple of days, what you have been going through that really kicked off in January, heightened in February, is now what you need to surrender in March. For those of you who just kind of clinched up about surrendering, guys, it is a trauma response when we hold on to things and we don't want to surrender or release them, because essentially we're holding on to those human habits. I want to be judgmental. I want to be guilty. I want to feel all of this yuck because, for whatever reason. Learning to surrender is a powerful move, because true surrender, what it means energetically, is you're taking your hands off of it. You're literally saying, there is an appearance going on in my life, but I am not in alignment with that appearance. I'm not resonating with that appearance. So I'm not going to give it any attention. I'm leaving this alone, turning it over to God, Allah, whatever name or belief that you have, no right or wrong, but literally surrendering it. And for those of you who are on the consciousness one path, this is literally just surrendering to the I am presence, the higher self, soul, whatever word you want to use, and saying, you know what? I know you know better than little I. You know better than my personality. I'm going to let you lead. So you know what? I'm surrendering this. I'm not in alignment with it. You take care of it. What happens when we step out of the way and we don't keep pulling it or putting our attention back on it, because the moment you put your attention back on the appearance, you have now brought it into the now moment. Surrender, you leave it. Doesn't mean it's not going to try to come back up. 100% it absolutely will. But when it comes back up, you have to remind yourself you surrendered it. It's not for you to think and worry about. At this time, it's being handled. When you can move into that and drop the need to pick it back up, worry, get involved, try to control it and do whatever, when you literally step aside and surrender, things work out in your favor better than you can even imagine. Why? Because you're not involved. Your personality didn't jump in there, which is altered ego, saying, hey, I know better, let's do it this way. Guys, it takes a while to get to that point. Some of you are at this point and not even realize what's going on. 40, mindful, group think. Who do you surround yourself with? This card is all about consciousness. Life is about consciousness. That's what the Matrix doesn't teach you. That's what you're learning now. That the oneness, the difference in consciousness, the human consciousness versus Christ consciousness, totally different vibrations. And who you hang around, who you associate with, has a lot to do with what happens in your life. Why? It's all about resonance, alignment, and what you agree with. So if you're hanging around the doubting Debbies, the negative Nancys, that's going to rub off on you. That's what you're saying you're in alignment with. Again, no judgment. This is all about choice and consequence. Every choice has a consequence. Doesn't mean it's negative or positive. For those of you that are still in that momentum and consistency, that anytime you hear something, you immediately go to the negative and run down that trail and think about all the negative things or things that could go wrong, yak, 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 you will bring more negativity to you. In everything, there's a choice to see things for the positive or the bigger picture, recognizing that what's happening in the now is a now moment thing. But what you think, speak, and feel about it is what's going to change it. So for those of you that are finding yourself in this transition of not really aligning with friends, old family, especially those long-time friends. I've been seeing this come up a lot. Many of you have reached out to me about this specific topic. You've been friends with somebody 10, 15 years, whatever the duration. But since you're awakening, you're recognizing, wait a minute, this isn't a healthy connection. Learning to be able to honor yourself, surrender what's going on, and move forward is a unique process that each of us have to walk through. And it can be very duality, up and down, both in the mind, good and bad. You are going to be challenged in the month of March to really own your own energy, to go within. Now to going within and asking the inner questions, that's for those areas where you're stagnant, where you need to surrender. Things aren't moving. You're not thinking clearly. For others of you, March is going to be a time where you start seeing the rewards for the work you've been putting in. Again, it'll be different for everybody. I like seeing this. This is the 9 of Swords in reverse. I like it's in reverse. Yesterday it was upright, remember? This is the nightmare card. This is being in your head. This all goes back to that stagnation, just reminiscing, thinking over and over and over and over, playing out the scenes, whatever it is, but ruminating on the shit. This is you saying, no. I know better. I'm not going to give in to this. In doing that and getting out of the way, look, 9 of Pentacles. This is about manifesting your desires and your dreams. And guys, manifesting, it's a formula. There's a process to it. It's not magic. It's not witchcraft. It's not, any of that. And guys, I might trigger somebody with this next statement. Oh well. Miracles, there's a formula to miracles. They're not random. It's not about if you're lucky or deserving. There's an actual formula, guys. Just like with manifesting, there's a formula. This is 2 upright and 2 in reverse are letting me know that you're doing this manifestation hokey pokey. It's okay. It's what we do. This is how we learn. But you've got your eyes on your abundance, on what you want to manifest, all of those things, but your energy is out of balance. That's what Temperance in reverse is talking about here. You could, at this time, with the cosmic energy, if you guys aren't aware, over the past week, possibly 2 weeks now, I think, there's been more light coming on to this planet. And I'm not talking about just regular light. This is high-powered, 5-dimensional, higher dimensional light coming in. It is affecting everything going on. When light comes in, shadows go away. Make no mistake about it. We are in the purge or the great cleansing. That's what we're seeing happening. Not only just on an individual level, but on a global scale. You can trace this back whenever there has been, and let's just go back 3 years. When more light has been coming onto the planet, more of the things that are hidden in the dark, nefarious things, are being exposed and coming to the light. We saw this, all of us saw this tangibly, whether you realized it or not, in 2020 with all the craziness that went on. More light comes in, the shadows come up. This is how it goes. So I always tell you, don't attach to any energy. Always let it flow. Because this is the time of the great cleansing. Your life is going through it individually, and we're going through it collectively along with the planet. So with that said, you're healing, recognizing wounded feminine energy and wounded masculine. We all have feminine and masculine energy within us. The masculine is the mind, the thoughts. The female energy is the feelings and the emotional body. So when we come from the wounded, that is that altered ego personality that has kept us stagnant and in the same patterns. Many of you, I got to be honest, not all of you, but many of you are recognizing this and really working on balancing your masculine and feminine, but also balancing, transmuting the wounded feminine and masculine and bringing that back into the natural masculine and feminine, the way it was supposed to be designed, or the way it was designed. Bringing this into balance, consciously working on this every day. And again, doesn't mean you're spending 18 hours doing it, but doing something every day for your spiritual well-being, for your mind shift, healing, whatever. You got to do something every day. You need to build the consistency and the momentum. And as you keep your focus on you, your spiritual path, your growth and evolution, this is when the divine steps in, gives you a brand new, I'll just say, scenario, whether it's a career, a job, friendship, love. Pentacles are representing the material things that we can touch, and abundance. And it's not just money, but this is key being at the end, because we started with moving out of stagnation. When you're stagnant, your pentacles can't come in. So going through this teeter-totter, the seesaw of energy is leading you to your abundance, to manifesting what you want. The key here is, while you're going through this, you don't stop and build a hotel in your bullshit. You recognize that, okay, there's appearances, I'm giving them over. I surrender them. I know everything is always working out for my highest good. And you stick with that. And I know you can't do it 24/7. I get it. But honoring yourself, remembering to come back to here, and really practicing being gentle with yourself, a lot of ease and grace. That's something that right now, ease and grace, you need to give yourself and others, guys. Everybody's going through some stuff, and a lot of them aren't saying anything, and that's okay, because guess what? It's not your business. Mind your neck, stay in your lane. Don't go looking for shit. But if somebody comes to you, remember, ease and grace. Everybody's fighting a battle others can't see. All right, your beliefs either give you power or take it away, and your inner child deserves your attention. Absolutely. All right, let me just get one or two cards to wrap this up. I'm going to get a menu card. As always, guys, I hold my community up every day. I speak blessings over my community. My community is all about the one consciousness, healing our lives, healthy, wealthy, abundant, not just prosperity, but love, living a love-centered life coming from the heart. Okay. So full moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. Can't embrace the flow until you surrender and move out of stagnation. Full moon in Taurus, detoxify. Guys, both of these are full moon cards. Guess what we're heading towards? A full moon. So pay attention. No coincidences. As you embrace the flow of life, you do detoxify. Some of you may need to detoxify from different foods and drinks, substances that you're putting into your body that are not helpful. Some of you may need to detoxify from thoughts, feelings, emotions, people, careers, whatever it is. Some of you, it may just be as simple as detoxifying some things in your house. But embrace the flow of life. When you can surrender and embrace the flow, life gets easier. It gets easier. It's more joyful. I'm speaking from experience. You know, everything I talk to you guys about, I've been through. I've experienced this. Had to face myself in those areas. But once I learned to surrender and go with the flow, guys, my life completely changed, and it is amazing. I am so in love with my life. And that's how we're supposed to be. But I know I wasn't always that way. Far from it. But the more I worked on myself, the more that I kept my focus on my spirituality, that's when I moved out of stagnation. That's when my life turned around, complete 360. I reflect back at times, and I'm just amazed. I'm amazed at how night and day my life is. Many of you really resonate with that. And guys, I'm here to tell you, we're just scratching the surface. 2023 is going to be a huge year for us in growth and change and evolution, but it's not going to come without bumps and turbulence. It's how we see the bumps and the turbulence and how we respond versus react. All right, guys, I hope this helped you. As always, I am sending you oceans and oceans of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. Bye-bye.